Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the first trimester, what symptoms I had, cravings, all that good stuff, all the way from the very, 3 to 4 weeks all the way until 12, 13 weeks. I think that's the first trimester. So I'm going to cover all the symptoms and all that good stuff. So if you guys are curious, be sure to keep on watching and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell down below so you're notified. A lot of people aren't getting my notifications, so just click the bell button and you will see my video pop up in your feed. I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. I'm 22 weeks and I'm now just posting my first trimester symptoms, and yeah, I have my notepad. But first trimester, this pregnancy, I found out pretty early. Around 11 DPO, baby implanted around 9 DPO. I know this is because I track ovulation and I've been seeing a fertility specialist. So that was nice. I found out 4 days before my missed period. There were two things that kind of made me think, something's a little bit different this cycle. The thing that was really different was my cervical mucus, which if you guys track that, you know if you're fertile or you're not, and after ovulation usually you're more dry, but I had egg white cervical mucus for 2 days, which was very unusual. And then after that, right before I found out I was pregnant, I drank a beer and I got really tipsy off of it. It was so funny. If you guys want to see that reaction, I will post the video somewhere up here. That was on a full stomach. I was like, what the heck? So I took a pregnancy test and sure enough, I was pregnant. Now, symptoms after the pregnancy test, of course, if you have a positive, you're pregnant, you take multiple positives, you confirm it, and I was definitely pregnant. So I started getting the worst fatigue ever, and that's a very common symptom. I just wanted to sleep all day, all night. It didn't matter if I drank caffeine. It was so bad. The fatigue, I remember. And another thing, the acne. Around ovulation, that time, even when I PMS, I have a little bit of acne, but nothing where I had like a couple of breakouts. I was breaking out down my chin and just on my neck. Sore boobs, that's pretty common for me right before my period. Vivid dreams, but they were really vivid, and I was noticing that I was sweating at night. I would wake up and the sheets were sweaty. I know that's so TMI, but with this pregnancy, I did have morning sickness, which was a first. In my other pregnancies, I would get nauseated, and the sense of smell was pretty sensitive, but this time around, oh my gosh. I would throw up almost every single day around 5 to 12 weeks. Say around, like 8 to 10 was probably the worst weeks of throwing up. It wasn't even just smells. I could just be brushing my teeth and I would gag and throw up. Like, that was not fun. And this time around, I had morning sickness at night. I didn't have it in the morning. Luckily, I didn't have it all day, but at night, and it didn't matter if I had a full stomach, if I tried remedies. I tried ginger, ice chips, all kinds of crazy, remedies. None of it helped. And I would just get so sick, almost like I had the flu. And what I mean by I felt like I had the flu, I legit would feel cold. I would have hot flashes, feeling like I'm going to throw up. And then when I had that, I would throw up. So at least I had an indicator right before I would throw up, but it was just, I was miserable. And it was a couple times a night. When I woke up in the morning, perfectly fine. I didn't need to eat crackers, nothing. Those weeks were pretty rough. Getting my prenatals down, that was rough. I took a gummy. I'll have to insert a picture of the gummy right here. And I've been taking those gummies for quite a while, I would say over a year. And then when I was pregnant, I was still on them. But in my second trimester, I stopped taking them because I can't even think about those gummies. Just the thought of those gummies, it makes me so sick. Cravings. In the morning, I could eat whatever I wanted. So I knew if I ate right when I woke up and before 5 p.m., I was fine. I could eat anything, and I was really craving early on beer, which I was not drinking. Salads. I would get a special salad from Potbelly. Oh, so good. And later on, I really craved hot dogs, ice cream, and Mexican food. Oh my gosh. I wanted all the Mexican food. Asian food, I really could not stand. And also nothing with garlic, no ground beef. Like I could not even smell garlic. It would make me so sick. Anything cherry, like a cherry milkshake, a cherry soda, it would come right back up. Yeah, that was not fun. But when I drank caffeine, I was super, super sensitive to like coffee, any kind of caffeine, and I've never been much of a caffeine drinker. I wouldn't even drink more than 100 milligrams, and you can drink up to 200 milligrams during pregnancy. I wouldn't recommend it, but if it's not hurting you and the baby, then go for it. But I was like super sensitive. Even if I had like a Coke, I would just be really jittery. So I did switch to decaf, which still has just the tiniest bit of caffeine. Super sensitive with caffeine. I barely drink it. In the second trimester, it's a lot better, but I really wasn't drinking coffee. I didn't really like it in the first trimester. I was still getting acne. I never really had that pregnancy glow. I mean, you guys can still see the acne a little bit. My hair was growing like crazy. I just got a haircut, but my friend probably took off, I don't know, like 5 inches off my hair, and it feels amazing. It just started getting too dry and I would get dandruff. It wasn't like the huge flakes, but I could get away with washing my hair 1 time a week and dry shampoo in between, and I was fine. My nails grow really fast. Some other symptoms that I can think of that I didn't jot down. I did have some cramps early on. It was nothing to be concerned about, but if you've never been pregnant, that can be really scary. It's normal most of the time because of the stretching, and I had it only for like a couple days. I didn't have any spotting or bleeding, but if you are having any spotting or bleeding and you're concerned, I would definitely talk to your doctor or nurse. Through the first trimester, I was just extremely tired, but overall I felt really balanced. And what I mean by that, I didn't feel like a crazy pregnant woman that was super emotional, but I am on antidepressants. So we tell you guys, that is the best thing I've done this pregnancy, is being on antidepressants. I want to do a separate video, so if you're interested in why I chose to stay on antidepressants during this pregnancy, if you guys have any questions, let me know and I will do a video for you guys. But yeah, I just felt really calm and not too emotional, not stressed out, and you never want to be stressed out when you're pregnant. But it's really common for you to be emotional and cry, but I literally didn't even cry at all. I don't think one time in the first trimester. To summarize my first trimester, I was super fatigued and the morning sickness sucked, but it could have been a lot worse. I've known friends and family that had it all day. If you guys are struggling with morning sickness, I really highly suggest getting on B6, which is a vitamin, and also Unisum, which is a sleeping aid, but it also helps with nausea. Just talk to your doctor or midwife and they recommend it. Like my specialist said, yes, please do. And it really helps with morning sickness. You don't want to try like Zofran or a prescription. You know, some women aren't really sure about taking, you know, those kind of meds because the birth defects and whatnot. I mean, I've known tons of women that took it and never had any issues. I would recommend trying the B6 and the Unisum. Just ask your doctor about that. Yeah, every single night I just felt like I had the worst flu. And that was the first trimester. Next week I'm going to talk about my second trimester. And if you guys were curious about what my HCG levels were, I will have that posted in the description. My doctor was really kind enough for me to get blood testing all the time, my progesterone and the HCG. I got tested a couple times, and the first ultrasound I had was at 7 weeks, and then at 10 weeks and 12 weeks, which that's a lot. You usually just get one ultrasound in the first trimester and that's it. But since I've had a history of miscarriages, I really wanted to make sure I had a couple of ultrasounds, and I think it's completely normal to kind of have a little bit of anxiety, you know, if the baby's in the right place, if it's growing, if your levels are good. I mean, it never hurts to get your levels checked out. All they do is check your blood and you get the results that day or the next day. And that really helped me out a lot throughout this pregnancy, which I was very thankful my doctor let me get those ultrasounds and the blood testing. But I wanted to mention that as well. If I left anything out, just leave me a question in the comments and I will try to answer it as quick as I can. And I hope you guys have a great day. Subscribe to my channel and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.